So basically all of our masters in the environmental space are offered totally online. So there's no face-to-face contact whatsoever. So everything is delivered through our online teaching and learning portal called Blackboard. And all the lecturers will enroll you in courses on the Blackboard platform, and all of the teaching's delivered through there. So, so it's really good if you're working currently. Most of the, participants in the master's program are kind of working concurrently with doing their masters. So they find it is quite flexible. They can do it at any time of the day or night, whenever it suits them, on weekends to fit in with their work schedule. And I mean, people come to the masters for a variety of different reasons. Some people are working in the environmental sector currently and want to kind of get a further qualification and upgrade their qualifications for promotion and that type of purpose. And then for other people, which seems more like where you're coming from, they're already working in a different field and want to perhaps move or merge from a business area into a more environmental space. So there's different reasons why people are doing those. So if you've got any questions, you can just give me a phone call or email me at any time, and I'll usually get back to you pretty quickly, so we can have a further chat after today if you need any more information about the programs. So there's two main programs. So there's environmental management and sustainability, and environmental and business management. So they're slightly different in how they're constructed. So most of the courses are delivered through our discipline, the environmental science and management discipline. So we've got about, I think, 13 academics in our discipline, and we're in the School of Environmental Science, Environmental and Life Sciences, sorry, and the discipline of Environmental Science and Management. And those academics are teaching and researching in the environmental space, and we've got people working in conservation biology, water management, sustainability theory and practice, and some other people in the geosciences. So quite a diversity of people. And the courses have been developed by a number of academics working in the sustainability space, and they've been part of the national effort to develop learning and teaching standards for the environmental sector. So, so the courses are really, utilising best practice in the sector, which is great. So the difference between the two programs is that the environmental management and sustainability is more targeted to those wanting to work in the environmental sector in a management role or a sustainability role, whereas the environmental and business management is targeted more towards either two kind of cohorts of people. One, either people in the environmental space who want to get some business credentials and potentially work for an environmental company or agency where business skills are required, or alternatively businesses that want to institute some kind of sustainability practice into their business operations. So those types of areas. So in the, we'll talk about the environmental management and sustainability program first. So in that program, it's basically structured around some compulsory courses, which are definitely in the environmental space, legislation and policy in an Australian setting, sustainability and ecosystem health, looking at sustainability practice in mainly an Australian setting. There'll be some environmental management principles and And then especially because climate change is so huge at the moment, there's a course on impact assessment and climate change policy. So they're the compulsory courses which we would require you to do. And then you'll have some other choices. There are some generic kind of tertiary courses in, you know, in the area of Aboriginal education, some around business and the natural environment, and some business related courses. And then you'll be required to do one of, currently there are 2 specialisations, so the current specialisations are natural systems management, which is really around environmental management and includes things like conservation science, conservation biology, water management, marine ecology and biology, statistics and statistical analysis, and energy in the environment. So that's the natural systems. And then the other specialisation is more a sustainability specialisation. So it's more looking in terms of human geography, you know, sustainability science, you know, engaging with communities in terms of sustainability practice. So they're the 2 kind of main areas currently you can specialise in. But next year, we're offering a 3rd specialisation in spatial science. So that would be in the area of GIS and remote sensing. So people who are wanting skills in that type of area, it won't be delivered online. It will be a face-to-face component. So you would need to come in onto campus and do some of those courses in computer laboratories on campus. So, so that's
what's GIS and?
Yeah, so GIS is Geographical Information Systems. So it's looking at applying kind of computer-based mapping techniques to make decisions about environments. So, you know, you might have an estuary where you want to map the distribution of seagrass or salt marsh within the estuary and make decisions around how to manage areas to maintain, you know, those kind of remnant endangered habitats. So a lot of environmental management agencies, councils, environmental consultancies, all of those types of things would use GIS to map and, you know, make decisions about conserving environments. So it's a really good skill. And remote sensing is similar to GIS, where we use satellite information to, you know, get images of areas, and we can use spectral data to get information about the vegetation that's present. You know, you can get, depending on the spectral reflectance, you can work out what types of vegetation are present and all those sorts of issues. So, yeah, so there's skills that, you know, we're finding that people are really needing in the workplace. So, yeah, we've got a few academics with skills in that area in the earth science discipline who teach into those courses. So that's another option down the track. So that's the environmental management and sustainability. And environmental and business management is set up kind of slightly differently, and it's basically a 2-pronged master's that has both the environmental management kind of courses, and then we lend on courses from the business school. So you're getting kind of a rounding in kind of both environmental management and business. So the compulsories are similar to the MEBMs. You've got environmental legislation, environmental management, business and the natural environment. And then you have a directed A and directed B pathway, which is the directed A is kind of more of your environmental management style courses. And then in the directed B, you've got more your business management, you know, your science policy and commercialization, human HR, you know, conflict resolution and managing, project management, all of those sorts of things. So they're offered predominantly by the business school. I might add, because it sounds like you've come to this area with some business qualifications. Is
Yeah,
that right?
I was just making a note there for a question later on that topic. So yeah, so I've a business degree and I've a professional accountancy accreditation as well. So it seems like I'd just be rehashing stuff I've already done twice if I was to do the business things.
Yeah, so one thing we do is there's recognition of prior learning, and if you've got past qualifications in what's called a cognate area, which your business qualifications would be, that you would get credit for the masters. So you can get up to 80 credit points of credit depending on your prior qualifications. So that would mean that a lot of those business courses you would be exempt from actually doing.
Yeah.
So you could focus more on the environmental side of things.
Yes, that's what I was.
So it would, I mean, it would make sense for you to do environmental and business management, because you'll get a lot more credit than if you did environmental management and sustainability. You'll get a lot less credit because your prior qualifications wouldn't be considered as cognate. So
yeah, so I was just thinking I'd get more credit, as I suppose as a pro is that I'd have the credits kind of in the bank there for that. But as a con, will I be missing out on additional environmental learning?
Yeah, well, I think it depends on where you want to see your career is going. If you want to move totally out of the business space and move into a more environmental role, it's probably worthwhile doing the other program.
Yeah. Okay.
If you you know, if you want to use your business skills and then go into an agency where they want to implement some sustainability practice or something, and you've got evidence that you've got credentials in that area, yeah, it might be worth doing this one. So
okay, sure.
Yeah, so basically the way it works is it's all delivered online via Blackboard, and you'll have for each course you do. So there's the Masters is 160 units, which is each course is worth 10 units. So you'll be doing 16 during your whole program, and they're offered in trimesters. So there's 3 trimesters a year. So you know, you'd be doing between 2 and 3 courses a trimester to complete in 2 years. So,
okay.
But if you got credit, you could be completing in, you know, much lower than that. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can do it, you know, you can do it part-time, so you can take much longer to do that. If you only want to do, you know, 1 course per trimester, that's fine. That's not a problem.
Okay.
So basically, it's all online delivery. So usually there are things like lecture slides, videos with lecture content, you know, that kind of thing. There's often readings, so there'll be some summary about the theoretical content, and then the lecturers will direct you to some further reading. And then there'll be some interactive kind of activities. So you'll do online group work. There might be online discussion boards where you're required to, you know, make comment or your opinion or maybe research something and share that with the group. So there'll be some kind of online participation each week. There's often, in many of the courses, there's online presentations where you perhaps are given a topic and you'll produce a small PowerPoint presentation with you kind of talking to it to share some content with other students. Zoom's used fairly extensively to have kind of, face-to-face contact with, virtual contact with other students. And then the types of assessment events are usually essays, projects, management plans, those types of things, reports. Often, depending on where you're working at the moment, some students use their current work situation to use as projects when students are asked to do a project within an environmental space. So, there's all those types of learning activities.
Okay.
So, so the kind of destinations where you would end up after doing these types of things, if you're going into the more environmental management and sustainability, which is much more environmentally management focused, you'll probably end up, in some kind of environmental role, either an environmental officer at a council or government department, or an agency like a water agency like Hunter Water or somewhere like that. There are also environmental consultancies where people are doing impact assessments for, other industries and companies. So those types of areas. Some people go into NGOs or private industry in an environmental kind of role. Other people have gone into the mining industry where they might require an environmental officer, that kind of thing. Whereas with the environmental and business management, I kind of see it's kind of a little bit more nebulous. And I went and did a little bit of searching today on, a few job sites to see what kind of jobs were around in that area. And there's two kind of areas. One is where, businesses are looking for someone who's got some environmental background to, establish sustainability practice within their industry. So that's kind of one type of job. And the other type of job is environmental agencies where they're requiring someone with business skills to develop their business models. So there was a job I saw today online at Greening Australia, which is a company that, does rehabilitation and plants trees and stuff in the environment to bring back natural and rehabilitate natural areas. And they were looking for a business manager to develop their business model throughout Australia. So there's those two kind of main types of roles that you could probably fall into. So
yeah, that's
one
my
thing. Sorry, yeah.
That was my main kind of. Ideally, I'd go where my heart says to go, but I've got 3 young kids, so I need to pick somewhere that actually has employment at the end of the line.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Unfortunately, I have to
that's really
go where I'm going to get a job. So I was like, I'm going to ask, is there a certain specialization topic of the 2 or 3 that is more, I suppose, it's better for
so go and have a look yourself. Just look up some of the environmental job sites and see where people are advertising and what kind of roles are coming out.
Okay.
So as I mentioned before, you'll probably get a lot of credit for your prior training, and so usually if someone's got an undergraduate degree in a cognate area, they'll get anywhere between 20 and 40 credit points, you know, recognition of prior learning. And then also, you know, depending on your role currently, depending what your job is, you can get some further credit for that. So if you're working in an environmental or a business role and can demonstrate, you know, that you've been working in the field for a number of years, and you can get a certificate or a letter of support from your current employer, you can get some more credit points that way as well. So, so if you go onto the website and look at the admission requirements, there's a list of, you know, what kind of qualifications and how many credit points that you'll get awarded. So go and have a look at that and check that out.
Okay.
So one thing I might mention too is that now's a good time to enrol in, if you're unsure about doing a master's. There's 2 entry qualifications into the master's. They're called graduate certificates for each of those programs, which are 40 credit points, so 4 courses as a kind of a taster and an entry into master's. So a lot of people who are either haven't done an undergraduate degree or are unsure whether they want to move into the field or just want to do a shorter qualification, can do before doing the masters. And if you complete the grad cert, you will get that 40 unit credit from the masters as well. And
that's actually what led me onto this.
Yeah, and at the moment there's a really good deal going because of COVID. A lot of people are, you know, either working from home or got you know, have been made redundant or whatever, and so the government's offering these COVID packages for courses that are completed this year across Australia, and the graduate certificate in environmental management and sustainability is one of those programs. So usually it would cost about 10 grand to do a grad cert, but you know, the government is heavily subsidising this, so I think it costs about 2,500 to do the grad cert at the moment. So if you enrol in that in the next before May 11th, you can get that reduced price. And the only caveat to that is that you need to complete it in 2020. So that would be 4 courses over the next 2 trimesters. So
did you say is the deadline passed then? Is that May 11th? It says it's June now.
Oh yes. Sorry, I'm thinking we're in June now, aren't we? Yeah. So I think you maybe I'll find out if you're interested in that. I'll chase it up and find out why they had a May 11th deadline, because the trimester's just started. So yeah, that'd be great if we could still get into that. Then I'd be interested. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, just drop me an email after this session, and I'll just chase it up with you, and I'll let you know what the deal is with that. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I've got my months all mixed up, so it's all blurring into one. No worries. Yeah. So yes, that's a brief overview of what the programs are, and you know, what they're offering. And by all means, if you think you might be interested, just send me an email, and I'll chase up that for you, any other questions, you can just give me a call at any time. So.